had to get dressed up for an open house today, so I'm gonna make one video before I get rid of all of this. Wanted to take a second and chat with you about low appraisals, and specifically VA low appraisals and how that is managed. I have a client that went under contract in July, and we don't do an appraisal order until the home is 90% complete. That just so happened to be recently, and we got a Tidewater notification. Tidewater is basically the appraiser issuing a warning that there will be a low notice of value, or NOV. Whenever Tidewater is initiated, we have 48 hours to work with the buyer's agent and to get comps to support the purchase price. But in the instance of this one, we actually weren't able to do that because the market had gone down a little bit, and the price per square foot, with this being a smaller house, the lot, the upgrades, all of those things, it just really didn't support the value. So we got the appraisal back, and it was $17,000 lower than the purchase price. At this point, we had a couple of options. We could go back to the seller and renegotiate, or we could ask for an ROV, or reconsideration of value. When we issue an ROV, it has to be a formal request in writing that we want the appraisal reviewed again, and we supply a new round of comps. What's cool is there actually were a few homes that were sold just recently, and they did support a slightly higher price per square foot. This is great for both the seller and the buyer, because now we can negotiate something more of a middle ground and hopefully be happy on both sides. And I want to say two things. One, low appraisals are not just a VA thing. You can ask so many agents. The coolest transition that I've ever accidentally done. Our power went out right in the middle of filming, so I'm just gonna leave. My point was that it's not just VA appraisals that typically come in low. You'll see that those happen across the board for all loan programs. So knowing that there is a formal rebuttal process for each appraisal on each different loan type. As always, your lender and your agent are going to be a team to go through that reconsideration of value process together and provide comps to either support or defend the lower value. And with the idea of lower appraisals, let's talk about what's happening with the market right now. I don't know about y'all, but I've been busy. I've had a ton of applications come in over the last few days with people taking advantage of 4-month lows on interest rates. I had this conversation with at least 10 agents today at the open house. If you've been wanting to buy and you're just waiting on rates to go down, I need you to consider that there's so many other people that are doing the same thing. If they're doing the same thing and those rates drop, guess what everybody's going to be doing? Competition's going to go up, home prices are going to go up, bidding wars will happen. Unless you have a lot of cash to play with appraisal gap coverage, this could be an issue for you as well.